Yeah, good afternoon. Today is Saturday, November the 16th, and yeah, we had another 4/10 of an inch of rain here Thursday night into Friday morning. Thursday was Lois and I's 32nd anniversary, so we went away for that day down to Lancaster to do some shopping and go out for supper. But we ended up having another 4/10 of an inch of rain. It's supposed to be really warm the next couple of days, but this oats I was out here just mentioning about the other day, its stuff is, yeah, really taking off, and it is unreal. It's getting up almost knee high. There you can kind of see it there in comparison to my knees. And so yeah, I think we're gonna just wait here a little longer. Hopefully we'll get some weather to make it here in a couple weeks. But yeah, it's definitely gonna make a whole lot more stuff than I ever dreamed it would. But it'll keep growing here for a little while. They're talking about 60s the next 3 or 4 days, and then they're talking about another chance of a little rain here later in the week. But so, and then it's supposed to be cooler Thanksgiving week, but we'll see once what happens, and hopefully get some weather to get it made sometime. Like I'd mentioned in the one other video, we're not intending to make it, but we planted it for a cover crop, and when it's growing like it is, if we get the weather, we're going to take it off and put it up for feed. And the radishes are really growing now too since we got some rain. I'll see if I can pull this one out. Oh goodness, it's gonna break off. Man. There, well, it still broke off a little bit. Yeah, in comparison to what it was that last time I showed it about a week ago, they're way bigger. These radishes are kind of funny. They call them tillage radishes, but they, see if I can find one here, they kind of, as they're growing and getting larger, they kind of start popping themselves up out of the ground. Yeah, I don't see any right here now. That one that I pulled up was like that. Yeah, they can get huge. They can get up to an inch or two across, and yeah, just big old things. But well, now I'm not seeing any right here. Here's some radishes growing, but they're not big like that last one was. Here's one, you can see it. See how it's starting to just like pop itself up out of the ground. I'll see if I can, yeah, well, that one still broke off. So yeah, anyway, oats usually makes really good feed, and I think I had mentioned this in the other video. If I'd have realized this stuff was going to grow like it was, we'd have probably put a shot of nitrogen on it, but it still should make, it's really green, so apparently must be pulling the leftover nitrogen from the corn that the corn didn't use up, because we didn't actually put anything on here. We didn't put any manure or anything, so yeah, it's unreal how it's growing with no more than what we did to it. Yeah, these couple of rains we've had have really helped the triticale to take off too. We had planted this right before we started, or there when it was dry, right after we had all that rain in September. And yeah, it definitely it needed the showers we got in the last week here, the 2 different rains we've had. We did put liquid manure on all of our triticale ground and our wheat ground, so yeah, it's up a good 5 to 6 inches now, so it's got plenty of growth on it to go into winter but it'll probably grow a little more yet too. We usually plant our triticale at around 150 to 160 pound of the acre, what we're going to take off for forage. Try to get it as thick as we can. So yeah, well, good morning. Today is Monday, November the 18th, I believe it is. Yeah, we have 4 cows and 4 calves to go to auction today. We actually had 4 bull calves born here since last Friday, I guess. Well, the one might have been born Thursday evening, but yeah, we had been having quite a few heifers fresh, or heifer calves born. But yeah, we had a bunch of bull calves here in a row this time. Yeah, and I say that we actually had 2 heifer calves born as well. So there was 6 calves born total. 4 of them were bull calves and 2 of them were heifer calves. Yeah, we're not real busy here today. I got to bed our springer pen. I got to shave the trenches. A few other things. It's a really nice day though for in November here in Pennsylvania. They're saying it's supposed to get up in the mid-upper 60s. Talking about maybe some more rain here a couple days. Maybe Wednesday night into Thursday, I think it is. But other than that, it's supposed to be pretty nice. Heifer barn where we have heifers that are breeding age. We have 2 young bulls we're bringing up here. They're about a year old. We got several other bulls up here. Next week we're going to move the heifers around again, and we'll probably bring 2 or 3 of these that are up here along home and put in with the dry cows. But yeah, there's 2 here. The one's right at a year old. The other one's about 11 months old. But that one there, he thinks he's some big hot shot. He was the king of their bunch, so we'll see. There's gonna be some attitude adjustment here one way or another between this and the other bulls, but here's some of our heifers that are up here. Yeah, they're a bunch of them came around to come into the barn, but we still have them out on pasture. It hasn't gotten, we've had a few rain showers, but haven't had a whole lot, or it's not muddy out here yet. Once it gets a little wetter and starts getting muddy, we'll have to pen them in. But all the bulls that were up here has to come check them out. Several things I need to do and get done here this morning. Our dry cows need a bale of hay, and then we have I need to bed this springer pen with a couple round bales, and I need to shave the trenches. So let's see if I can get a little video of some of that. skid loader. And then we'll go over here where we're feeding it to our dry cows, and then we set it down over here by the headlocks and tear the wrap on the top, and then pick it up and stick it over in the feeder, and then pull the wrap out of it. So it's pretty slick. We don't even have to get out of the skid loader at all. If it all works out right, you don't have to touch the wrap that was on the wrap bales or anything, so it all works out good. different trenches right now. The one's Sudex, and then there's a corn silage trench, and then there's 2 trenches that have triticale in. The one's the early cut triticale, and the other's the later cut triticale. The corn silage trench is probably, yeah, it's a good 12 feet high here, right in the center. Yeah, well, good morning everyone. Yeah, it's Wednesday morning, November the 20th, I believe it is today. Different ones have been asking a lot about what all breeds of cows we have and a little bit more about the Linebacks. I just thought I would share a little bit on here about it. Yeah, we predominantly have Holstein and Lineback cows. We have a few other crosses in here that as well. Years ago we would have bred our heifers to a Jersey bull. We probably hadn't did that for 10 years, but we still have a few descendants from maybe a touch of Jersey in them. Yeah, more I say that, it might be 15 years since we bred any of our heifers to Jerseys. And then there was a year or two we bred a few heifers to milking shorthorn bull. I like the markings, the really dark red color of them. But yeah, some of them did okay, some of them didn't do the greatest. The one we had, some of them were a little bit high strung. And yeah, we kind of got away from that. And the last number of years, we've just been breeding everything to either Holstein or Lineback. So yeah, I'll maybe go down the line. I'm up here in my freestall barn. The cows are here, a lot of them are eating. There's a lot of them laying down as well, but I'll try to just say a little bit about them. So I might say this yet, we've been breeding for red and whites for years. We still have a few black and whites. We very seldom breed to any black and white bull that would not be a red carrier. We have one black and white bull in here with, actually we have 2 black and white ones right now. The one's a Lineback and the one's a Holstein, but both of them are red carriers. And I would say anymore 85 to 90% of our calves being born are red and white. Yeah, we move groups of heifers around. Some of them don't hardly have any red and whites or black and whites in them anymore. But yeah, I've often said for years, when I was a young boy, I'm not sure, 8 or 10, we would have had all black and white Holsteins, and we had a red and white calf born one time. Just a freak chance, I guess. And we didn't have any red and white cows, and here it was a bull calf, and that was so sad. I thought it would have been wonderful if that was a bull calf, or a heifer calf. Yeah, but yeah, I've always liked the red and white cattle, and I would have often said it would have been neat to have a whole red and white herd someday, but I don't know if that'll ever happen or not. We do still breed to some black and white every now and then, but yeah, beyond that, we'll just go down the line here a little bit. There's a red and white lineback, and then a red and white Holstein. There's a black lineback. There would be a black and white Holstein. There's a black lineback. There's a one that's got some jersey in her. We did hear about 3 years ago, we had bought about, I forget, 18 or 20 cows. And it was right about the time cow prices were starting to really go up. They weren't anything near like they are now, but I found this herd. A guy had Jersey and Jersey crosses, and he was wanting to downsize some. And he said we could come and pick out some Jersey crosses. So yeah, what ended up, we did end up picking 2 or 3 pure Jerseys because he didn't have quite as many Jersey crosses as I wanted. But so we still have quite a few of them in here, but I think we still have all the pure Jerseys and quite a few of the Jersey crosses that I would have got then. But yeah, other than that, we don't have a whole lot of Jersey cross bloodline. But yeah, there's some more red and white Holsteins. There's a red and white lineback. There's a couple more linebacks, some red and some black. I want to say a little bit too about the different markings on the linebacks. They're your typical lineback. When most people think of a lineback, they would think of one like that black one right there, where she kind of has a white line down her back, and kind of, yeah, their faces look a little more variegated like that. And but yeah, that is kind of the typical, a lot of the typical lineback. Here would be a couple more that were more like that, more of a dark-sided lineback, some people would call them. Then you do have these ones that are more spreckled. There's one, you can't see her side real good, but 854 there. She would be a lineback. She's more of a spreckled lineback. There's one of our tan and white or grand white ones that's a lineback. We have several in here of that breed. A friend of mine sold his cows a number of years ago, and he had quite a few of that color in his herd. And I think I bought all of his heifers he had that were that color. Most of them were marked Holstein, but as we bred them into the linebacks, we got some that come out looking lineback like that. And then you would have like this 1006 right here. She would be a lineback. She's got the red ears and the red nose and a few spreckles on her, but she's mostly white other than that. We got quite a few that look like that. There's another lineback that's definitely a little more spreckled. She's milking in about her 5th lactation, I think. She's just fresh maybe a month or so now. Really milking well. Here's another where you would kind of look at more of a typical lineback. But yeah, those two there are linebacks. They're more your spreckled linebacks. There's some more Holsteins. Here's a cow that, yeah, I'm not quite sure what, she's got a little cross of something in her, but there's another black and white Holstein, black and white lineback. Yeah, there's another really spreckled lineback. Couple more, but yeah, there's just a wide variation in the lineback. There's one of the Jersey crosses right there. So we have 3 cow brushes here in our freestall barn, and they're typically all being used. Well, there's 2 right here, and then there's one on down there farther. The one a cow just walked away from, so it's still running. And the other one down there that's by itself, it's being used right now. Yeah, I just seen this brush is starting to get worn pretty good. We'll soon have to change the brush on this one before long, but yeah, the one over there, we would have changed that in 6 to 9 months ago, so it's still in pretty good shape. Right there's one that we would have that would still have some shorthorn in her, that 1002 right here. Yeah, she's got some milking shorthorn in her, but yeah. I did want to say too, for some of those videos we had some of our breeding age heifers on, it's a friend of mine, or a man I learned to know about 2 hours away from us, that they have a lot of crossbreeds, and he sells a lot of heifer calves. And we did buy some heifer calves off of them the last couple years. Last year I think we bought maybe 26 or 7. When I say last year, it would have been about a year and a half ago now that we would have bought the first ones, and then a little over a year ago we bought the few more. And then this year, this fall here, we bought, I think it was maybe 13 total off of them. But some of them heifers that you would have seen in that group that would have been where we put them in with the bull up at the other farm. Yeah, there would be some other crosses in there. I'm not sure what all crossbreeds he has. We would have bought some off of them years ago. They all milk fairly well. It's been a number of years since we got any off of them. We still have a few of them in the herd. Yeah, I didn't notice any of them right close here, but yeah. By saying all of that, some of those heifers that some of you might have been asking about or noticed that were crossbreeds, there is a few other crosses there that, like I said, I know there is a few of them that would be the Fleckvik cross, they're called. Never had much experience with them. I've heard about them, but yeah, it's, most of them look fairly good, so we'll see once what they look like here when they calve. The majority of them would have, let me see, some of them would start calving here probably by this January. The first group we got was March a year ago. It'll be 2 years to this coming March. And then there'll be quite a few there in the spring, early summer, and then there'll be another group later in the fall. The last of that, the last of the ones that we got in 2023, I think there's a few here. We're going to move heifers around here in again about a week, but there's a few of them that will be getting put in with the bull next week. Anyway, if anybody has any more questions about any of our cattle or anyone in specific that you see or want to know any more about them, don't be afraid to ask. Or in general, if you have any other questions about anything else you see on our videos, yeah, we'll try our best to answer them. So yeah, probably, I'm gonna guess right now, as far as our milk cows, I'm gonna say probably at least 50% of them are linebacks, and probably I'm gonna say 60 to 70% of them are red and white of the cows in general, not just the linebacks, but 60% of the cows that we're milking are probably red and white, and our offspring coming on is a lot higher percentage than that. Yeah, I was just walking down through our what we call our new heifer barn here, looking at some of the heifers. This first group here only has one black and white one in out of 14 or 15. I think I counted 19 black and white ones in here out of probably close to 100 head. So that gives you a little idea. I guess that would be about 80% red and white, but some groups are a little more than others. But yeah, this group right here has mostly red and white ones in it. Yeah, well, good afternoon, everyone. Today's Friday, November the 22nd. We're getting our first taste of winter. Yeah, this winter has been, or this fall has been very unusually dry and warm for us, and didn't get a lot of rain all fall. Last 10 days here we got a few showers, but then it really turned cold here. It showered around a little bit yesterday morning. It was kind of chilly, but not very cold. It was raining a little bit this morning, then it turned to snow. Some of the higher elevation areas got a lot more than we did. It's not really laying on the driveway, but in the grass, it was really snowing pretty heavy there for about an hour there earlier. And so yeah, it's not very common for us to get snow in November, at least the last number of years. I mean, we do have snow in November sometimes, but it's not real common for us. I guess we'll see what this winter holds. I keep saying we're going to pay for all this nice weather we've had. It's been an unusually warm summer and fall. A lot of times the temperatures average themselves out, so I guess we'll see. But I hope I'm wrong, because yeah, that would, I don't mind snow, but I don't like excessively cold or an excessive amount of snow.